and he looked her dead in the eye, and he was very direct, and he didn't fumble his words. What reason does he have to lie? Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well and that you had a great week. House guests, welcome. Grab yourselves a drink and make yourselves comfortable. If you're passing by and you'd like to become a house guest, don't forget to hit subscribe and activate all of your notifications. I'm Chez, this is Chez M0i. Welcome to my place. Whether they're publicly visible or not, one thing you can rely on the Sussexes for is being productive, and no one can accuse them of not being fully invested in their philanthropic endeavours.
Jonathan, hi, very nice to meet you on this World Mental Health Day.
Oh, Prince Harry, what an honour to meet you.
Thank you for spending time with me and having this discussion about your book, The Anxious Generation, which, funny enough, aligns very well with the insight sessions that we've been doing with young people in numerous different countries. There's a lot of finger pointing. Mm-hmm. It's very easy for social media companies to point the finger at parents and say, well, you know, this is down to you, this is down to your parenting.
Yeah.
What do you say to that?
Yeah. So if there were some parents who were getting this wrong and most parents were getting it right, then I'd be very receptive to that argument. But once kids get a phone and social media, the rest of family life turns into a fight over screen time. And this is happening everywhere. This is happening in Silicon Valley, where the parents know what's going on. In fact, in Silicon Valley, you're much more likely to find parents who say, no, you cannot have this because we know how bad it is. Why do we give our 10-year-olds a phone? The main reason is because everyone else did. We don't want our daughter to be the only one who's left out. I'm facing this now with my 14-year-old daughter on Snapchat. So the tech companies put us in a bind, and then they're trying to blame us for what they did. A few companies, 3 or 4 companies, largely own childhood now. They have far more influence on our children than we do, at least in terms of the amount of time they can spend influencing. Mm-hmm. They vastly exceed the power of parents. And then they want to say, oh, but you know, it's your fault. No, it's their fault.
At this point, however, I liken the behaviour of the tabloid media to a drug addict experiencing withdrawal symptoms, because instead of paying any sustained attention to William and Kate during their first joint public engagement since the end of her treatment, the rabid tabloids decided to zero in on Meghan when she appeared on the green carpet at the LA Children's Hospital Gala last weekend.
Work that they do at Children's Hospital LA is otherworldly, and I think from my standpoint as a mother, no one wants to have to be in a position where you need to go to a place like this, but if you have to, the best place in the world you could go would be Children's Hospital LA. And I have close friends who still have their children there going through treatments, either from high school, close mom friends now that are having their children really have that experience. But the staff is incredible, and the amount of work that they do for families that really could not afford this level of care is something that I think should never be overlooked. So I'm just grateful for everything they do. Happy to be here to support.
Unsurprisingly, the interest in Meghan was less about why she was attending the event and more about her aesthetic and the people she was interacting with.
Past your bedtime for sure. How old is he? Hi, how are you? What's your name? Nice to meet you, Marcus. How old are they? Oh, so really close to our kids, so 3 and 5. Oh, yeah. Take a picture? Of course. Here, come on.
You look so beautiful.
You ready? Oh.
Yeah, there we go. Oh my God. So
Thank you.
Look at me like, what you doing?
Have fun tonight, of course.
And as the week progressed, they still couldn't stop analysing her. So when the question was asked over the last 2 weeks where Meghan was, understand that Meghan's common sense is not lacking. She is fully aware that engagements attended by Harry are because he was involved in those related organisations before he had even seen a photo of her. The inevitability of her mere appearance potentially overshadowing Harry's work only proves that she is not searching for the limelight, as many continue to accuse her of doing. In this regard, I liken Meghan's detractors to an abusive partner who loves to exercise coercive control. If Meghan attends events with Harry, she's accused of neglecting her children. And if she doesn't attend events with Harry, they are separated and divorce is imminent. If you have someone like this in your life who continuously shifts the goalposts, I'm sure you can relate to what I've just said. The level of gaslighting is nothing that I've ever seen in my 54 years on this planet. And what puzzles me even more is that those same detractors who claim to love Kate, they say they love her, yet they appear to have zero interest in her or anything that she does. It doesn't sustain attention. Isn't that interesting?
You can't handle the truth!
A couple of weeks ago, in this video, I referenced Boris Johnson's new memoir and his conversation with Harry before he left to join Meghan in Canada in 2020. Now, I am not a fan of Boris Johnson, but one thing I do like about this guy is his unwillingness to toe the line. Many of you will be familiar with this person, Camilla Tominey. I will keep my views about her to myself, but again, unsurprisingly, here she is on GB News conducting an interview with Johnson.
It was, yes.
Speaking of the royals, tell us about your manly pep talk with Prince
Yes,
Harry.
well, this was totally ignominious, totally feeble, and this was all my idea, not at the behest of the Crown or anything, the palace or anything like that. Prince Harry and Meghan, in my view, they came to an event we did for female education. There's a huge chapter about female. I think you may not.
Yes, no, I have read that bit because it's in the Foreign Affairs bit.
Yeah. And they were brilliant, and she was particularly good and articulate and on it and on the detail.
So you got on quite well with Meghan?
Yeah. I got on well with both of them, and I also worked with Harry when he did his Invictus Games for disabled veterans in the Olympic Park, and so in a sort of fit of pomposity, I thought, this national asset is leaving our country. I think he's a force on the whole, could be on the whole a force for good. I'm going to try and discourage him. And so I had a pathetic attempt at that. It didn't work.
No.
And there you go. I failed to avert Megxit, but I did deliver Brexit.
This is clearly not what she wanted to hear about Meghan, as you can tell by the expression on her face. Here are some other people who are not afraid to share the truth about how they've experienced Meghan, regardless of any backlash they may receive. Here's what her former bodyguard had revealed. So these are a couple of posts I came across on social media. I believe it's X, formerly known as Twitter. I came across these indirectly. And the first one is posted by the handle is Sage Knows All. I am Sage. And here's what it reads. The fact that Meghan hasn't lived in Toronto since 2017 and she still emails her former bodyguard is wild, and just goes to show what an amazing and kind woman Meghan is. Him and his wife were invited to her wedding, but I don't know if they went. What a beautiful soul. And then underneath it says, and that's why he's speaking out now. Though he no longer works for her, Steve considers Meghan a friend. My wife and I got invited to the wedding. That's how close we became, he says, adding that they exchange emails on birthdays and holidays. I would work with her again, not a problem at all. She was a good person to work for, and she still is a good person. And then there's this post from Estonian01. Sorry, I can't pronounce the name. But this post reads, former bodyguard of Meghan from Toronto time, nobody had a bad word to say about her. Even with the pressure that she was under, she was warm and considerate all the time. And this comes from intouchweekly.com, as you can see at the bottom, with a headline that says Meghan Markle's bodyguard reveals why he felt sorry for the Duchess. And here's what one of her closest friends had said. This article is from people.com, published on the 9th of October 2024. And before I continue, I will let you know in advance that I'm sure I will mispronounce the second half of this lady's surname, for which I do apologise. The headline reads, Meghan Markle's emotional connection to friend who joined her at gala, so grateful to have you by my side. Kelly McKee Zajven wrote of Meghan that she was beyond grateful to share in this beautiful evening with one of my closest friends. When Meghan Markle made an unexpected appearance at the Children's Hospital Los Angeles 2024 gala, she didn't walk the green carpet with her usual +1, husband Prince Harry. Instead, it was close friend Kelly McKee Zajven who was by her side at the October 5th event as Harry remained in Africa after a brief stopover in the UK. McKee Zajven took to Instagram over the weekend to pay tribute to her friend, the Duchess of Sussex, 43, writing that she was beyond grateful to share in this beautiful evening with one of my closest friends, McKee Zajven wrote. The Alliance of Mums co-founder praised Meghan's support for CHLA, calling her commitment to the cause truly inspiring and adding, I'm so grateful to have you by my side. McKee Zajven also spoke of her gratitude for CHLA and the extraordinary care they have given her daughter Lily. Our journey began when she was just 2.5, and from that day forward, we've experienced nothing but kindness, hope, care, and unmatched expertise, she wrote on Instagram. Our team at Children's has given us strength and hope during the most challenging moments, and their continued commitment to Lily's care has made all the difference to our family. McKee Zajven, her husband Julian, and Lily lost Lily's twin brother George suddenly in 2022 after he contracted and succumbed to a viral illness. In an essay shared with People in April, McKee Zajven opened up about the devastating loss. It's impossible to know how to survive this type of grief, she wrote. Even more impossible is the ability to find all the right tools that will help you manage each day. I definitely do not have all the answers. She continued in part, to my grievers, I know this loss and grief is impossible. I hope that you can search for that one small joyful moment each day to help lessen the overwhelming feeling of sadness, even to step outside for the sunrise or sunset. If nothing other than to take a deep breath, please allow others to show up for you in whatever way they can. I have learned to delegate my grief. I know certain people who can hold space and support in the heavier days, or who I can share in the ridiculous moments that come. She added, I have learned that not one single human can carry it all for us. So allowing others in is imperative. Try not to expect people to understand it all. Even the people who share a similar loss, not everyone will understand. That is the lonely part, I'm afraid. So be brave in sharing. Meghan and Harry supported McKee Zajfen as recently as last month, attending the George Zajfen tennis tournament in Los Angeles, an event honouring McKee Zajfen's late son and benefiting the Alliance for Children's Rights. The tournament took place on September 14th, the day before Harry's milestone 40th birthday. Harry and Meghan, you have been such a guiding light for our family, not just in the way you have shown up in friendship, but how you have shown up through the incredible work the Archewell Foundation does every day. McKee Zajfen wrote on Instagram on September 15th, I'm in awe of your commitment to community and to friendship. She added, extra special day too. Happy 40th birthday, H. May this trip around the sun be the best yet. In April, the Duchess of Sussex appeared alongside McKee Zajfen and Abigail Spencer in matching white t-shirts with red text that read, Love Like a Mother. The trio paired their tees with blue jeans, and alongside a photo of them, McKee Zajfen wrote on Instagram, when we speak about the people in our lives who lift us up when you need it with undeniable force of pure love, I think of these two. You inspire me. You pick me up when I need it. McKee Zajfen is co-founder of Alliance of Mums, which supports pregnant and parenting teens who are in the foster care system in Los Angeles to help families pave a positive future. The organisation further supports the work of Alliance for Children's Rights, a non-profit offering free legal services and advocacy for caregivers, adoptive parents, kids and teens in LA's foster care system. McKee Zajfen has previously called Meghan, whom she lovingly refers to as Meg, someone who is nurturing and warm and open, adding that she is an incredible friend and mother. I'm truly in awe of you, McKee Zajfen wrote, adding that Meghan is always the first to say yes and support those you love. You are a fierce advocate for those who are in need. When McKee Zajfen's son, George, died 2 years ago, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex donated $5,000 to a GoFundMe set up in George's honour, the Daily Mail reported. Meghan and Harry donated in the names of their 2 children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet.
A woman with no friends or a small circle is one of the most secure women you'll ever meet. Trust me, she values quality over quantity and has built a life of peace by leaving behind fake friends' drama and gossip. Her confidence comes from within, not from others' approval. She's perfectly content with her own company and doesn't need a crowd to feel complete. Her small circle is built on trust and loyalty, and she won't waste time on relationships that don't matter. So never underestimate a woman like this, because she's already validated herself.
So guys, the truth cannot be handled by some people. As you could see in that interview with Camilla Tominey and Boris Johnson, I mean, yeah, she was not happy at all. And, you know, as I say, I'm not a fan of Boris, but one thing about him, he doesn't tell the truth, okay? We all know that in this country. Boris Johnson does lie. And you don't have to be a body language expert to realise that. I mean, I pick up on non-verbal cues, such as him not looking at you, or not me, or you, him not looking at the person in the eye, stumbling over his words, buffoonery basically. But when Camilla asked him about Meghan and he looked her dead in the eye and he was very direct and he didn't fumble his words, what reason does he have to lie? He's a multimillionaire. He's already served his tenure as Prime Minister. He's not beholden to anyone. He's not under any obligation to toe the line, which is why he said his apology for, you know, during the lockdown period, he's now not sorry. He can say that now because he's free of that post. So why does he have any reason to lie about his interaction with Harry and Meghan and his positive experience with them? You know, equally, he could say something negative about them, but really, there's nothing for him to lose or gain. Camilla was not having it. She was not. It's like, you're going against the narrative, Boris. Did you not get the memo? You know, people like Richard Eden, who had said, I only saw the headline because I was not going to click into that Daily Mail article, but the headline read along the lines of, Meghan only turned up to the LA event for a photo opportunity. This man has the IQ of a peanut, okay? Because how are you going to say that Meghan only turned up for a photo op when she gets photographed buying flowers? Why on earth would she just get dressed up to go to an event just to be photographed? As you are now aware, she went there to support her friend and other friends who have children who've been treated at that hospital, which I imagine is the equivalent of Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital in London. Her friends know the truth. Richard Eden does not have access, like most of these journalists now. They don't seem to have access to William and Kate because William and Kate are playing a different PR game nowadays. And for you to actually focus on the couple 5,000 miles away says a lot about the future king and queen, because really that's where your focus should be. But the fact is, there is no interest in William and Kate. There have been so many instances of deception this year with regard to the Waleses. Fake photographs, fake videos, misinformation from Kensington Palace, you know, them telling us off for asking where's Kate when they were the one who spun the narrative in the first place, when they really shouldn't have said anything at all. You know, with regards to their initiatives, what's happening with William's homelessness project, I've asked this before, and with Kate's clandestine meeting with regard to early years, what's happening with that? Heads Together, which was initiated by William, Kate and Harry, just because Harry has gone in a different direction. Why has that become dormant? Is it inactive? I don't know, because we don't hear about these things. Whereas with Harry and Meghan, whatever philanthropic endeavours they're involved with, we get to hear about them objectively thankfully through the US media, because the UK media they will never be objective when it comes to Harry and Meghan. So it's fortunate that that People article actually told you the reason why Meghan was at the event, because the UK press weren't going to tell you that. According to them, she only turned up to take photos. And speaking of toxic people, because the UK journalists are very toxic, you can see it oozes from them. You can see they always have a screw face. Speaking of which, Morgan, and you know which Morgan I mean, he's had to get off his high horse and apologise. Now, we already know the apology was not sincere, but for those of you who do not know, it's in relation to an interview he conducted with Jaguar Wright with regard to all of this P. Diddy nonsense, which I will not touch because it's too toxic for me. If you want to know about it, go elsewhere and find out about that. But she apparently revealed things about Jay-Z and Beyonce, which is revealed on other platforms, but I guess because Piers has so many millions of viewers and subscribers to his channel, they've gone after him legally, basically saying, if you air this interview, we're going to come after you. So he really should change the name of his program from Piers Morgan Uncensored to Piers Morgan Censored, because he's now become censored. But at the end of the day, if they're involved, the truth will come out, and some people won't be able to handle the truth. But for the time being, I love to see Piers Morgan's mouth being shut, because it's about time. And this again demonstrates the power of money. Now, Piers thought that he had control of the narrative, and he's always the one that stirs the pot. He was the one who revealed the names of the royal family members who asked about Archie's skin colour. It wasn't Harry and Meghan, it was him. Because he wants to be notorious for these things. He wants to be the talking point. And in this case it backfired, because Jay-Z and Beyonce said, you better shut up. And I'm here for it. If they're involved, that's their business. But with regard to Morgan, yeah, he needed to be censored. And I look forward to the day when Harry and Meghan reach that point where, you know, if they are so inclined, they'll be able to shut him up. Harry's kind of halfway there when he's going after these tabloids in the UK, and he's been successful in doing that. He's being taken seriously, and this is another reason why I think Morgan has kind of kept a low profile since Harry's been in these court cases, because that's what I've noticed. He's not as vocal as he used to be. Only time will tell, guys. But before I wrap up this video, I want to leave you with some images from the International Day of the Girl, which took place at the end of the week in Santa Barbara, California. And as usual, Meghan looks great, happy, radiant, with these young girls gravitating towards her. As I said, Boris Johnson gave his positive experience. We've had positive experiences of people's interactions with Meghan through this video. So when these UK tabloids would have you believe that Meghan is a, what is it? Duchess difficult or dictator in high heels or whatever nonsense they come out with. Use your critical thinking skills, guys. Because if she's so awful, why do people want to associate with her? Why? Like I say, some people can't handle the truth. And as I leave you with these images, if your thoughts were provoked in any way, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet become a house guest, don't forget to hit subscribe and activate all of your notifications. I want to take this opportunity to thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and you shall catch me in the next video.